What up, though? Welcome back and welcome to another installment of Black Americans Don't Have Culture. It seems that a lot of people forget. Let's remind them. This is from J.A. The joint is jumping again. Grand reopening of Club Ebony by Brenda Fuller Willis. May 22nd, 2023. Indianola, Mississippi. Club Ebony, the most famous stop on the Chitlin circuit of the 1940s, 50s, and 60s, will once again be bursting at the seams with the sounds of blues music as it will reopen June 1st through 3rd, 2023, with a series of events and lots of headliners. Let's see if we can read the placard that's in front of Club Ebony. I guess designating it as a landmark, which I don't think it needed the placard. We all know that the whole of this land, of this soil portion that we call America, has always birthed the greats. It says Club Ebony, MS Mississippi Blues Trail. Club Ebony is one of the best known juke joints in the state. Since 1945, the club has hosted such icons as Count Basie, Ray Charles, James Brown, Ike Turner, Little Milton, Willie Clayton, Bobby Bland, and blues legends Howlin' Wolf and B.B. King. Shout out to Howlin' Wolf, the big homie. Indianola, Mississippi. Any reason you think it's called Indianola? You think it's by coincidence? Do you think it's to pay homage to the Native Americans that were in that portion of America? Sound crazy, huh? Yeah, I agree. Indianola, Mississippi, American Indian Territory. Yeah, that's off the reservation, okay? The historic entertainment venue is located in close proximity to the B.B. King Museum and Delta Interpretive Center at 404 Hannah Street Avenue in Indianola, Mississippi. Originally, Club Ebony served as one of a few African American owned. Let's get this straight right now. Originally, Club Ebony served as one of a few American Indian owned nightclubs on the Chitlin circuit that opened after the end of World War II by Indianola entrepreneur Johnny Jones. It was considered the finest and largest nightclub in the South, being fashioned after Harlem's Club Ebony that opened in 1927. Jones reportedly said there were no other clubs in Indianola for American Indians. He says Negroes improperly. The club was donated to the museum by B.B. King, the last owner of the famous night spot, in hopes it would be preserved and serve the Delta community once again as the premier music venue that welcomed world famous entertainers including Ray Charles, Count Basie, Bobby Blue Bland, Lil Milton, Albert King, James Brown, Ike Turner, Howlin' Wolf, Tyrone Davis, the king of the Chitlin circuit, Bobby Rush, and the king of the blues, B.B. King. So it says B.B. King was the last owner of the famous night spot, and he donated it to the museum. Now, he wouldn't have had to donate it if our families or our peoples weren't so fragmented. You know, the generation after him would have taken an interest in a spot like that. And then the generations after them would have taken an interest. But he has to donate it because otherwise it would be in someone else's hands, which it already is, but it would be in some, I guess, more unfavorable hands. Malika Polk Lee, the executive director of the B.B. King Museum, says, "We are so excited about being able to not only save Club Ebony, but to bring it back in a manner that preserves its Chitlin Circuit heritage, but blends all the conveniences of a modern club. We have made the club fully ADA compliant and added interpretive elements that outline the club's history and all the great performers who once graced the stage. Club Ebony has a historic marker on the Mississippi Blues Trail that is seated just outside the club." A historic marker. So Malika Polk Lee, the executive director of the B.B. King Museum, had something to do with that. So I retract my statement that it doesn't need a marker. If she did it, she has a good reason for it, and she obviously cares. Oxford English Dictionary. This is the online subscription version. Ebony, noun and adjective. Ebony, it says of uncertain origin. I kind of got an idea of where its origins are, but let's move on. Okay. We were just talking about Indianola, Mississippi, Club Ebony. Now we're at OED, Oxford English Dictionary, and it says about 1425, the hard, heavy, black or dark colored wood of any various tropical trees of the genus Diospyros, or more widely, the family Ebonaceae. Native to West Africa, India, and Southeast Asia, and typically used for woodworking, cabinet making, and in the manufacture of musical instruments. Now I'm interested in B.B. King was the last owner of the club. Now I'm interested in knowing who named the club. The wood of any of several other trees or shrubs which is typically hard or dark colored. False ebony, Jamaica ebony, mountain ebony, etc. 1922, the wood principally used in the manufacture of umbrella handles comes mostly from Venezuela. In the New York trade, it is known as coffee wood or brown ebony. Indianola, Mississippi. A black or very dark brown color. A black or very dark brown color. Context clues. Her cheeks like rose and lily yield forth gleams. Her brows bright arches framed of ebony. Let her complexion swart or tawny be, a twilight olive or a midnight ebony. Great bunches of blackberries shone in mingled dusters of red and ebony. Originally US, a black person, now usually a black woman. One with very dark skin. This is from 1830. Context clues. The old black came shambling along from his galley. This old ebony floundered along. From 1851, 1863, perched on the fences, swinging on the gate, and hanging in the trees were a score of young ebonies of both sexes. From 2018, one thing I deeply miss about FAMU, or Florida A&M University, was all the ebonies that had so much planned for their life. Like most of the smartest black women I've ever met was at FAMU. FAMU. The black keys on a piano. Of the black or very dark brown color of ebony, deep black, extremely dark. So in other words, 1736. So in other words, dark brown. Okay. I'm not sure what they mean when they say deep black. Either it's black or it's not. And then they say extremely dark. So dark brown. Get it together. Designating a black person, especially one with very dark skin. Of a person's skin color, complexion, very dark, and then it says black again. There is no such thing as black skin. You would think Oxford, the people over there, good old Oxford, would know. That's from 1817. Harlem's reigning chic is Cab Calloway. His dicty clothes in zebra patterns set the style pace for ebony swells along Lenox Avenue. If black and brown flesh is ever included in these forums, it's often considered a novelty, perhaps described as ebony, chocolate, or caramel. A black person, specifically a black man. Context clues from 1791, went to the Talbot by way of gig with a black girl. In the morning, 10 o'clock, my goddess of ebony off. In later use, it says from 1848, in later use, influenced by the song cited in quote 1982, earlier uses are comparatively uncommon and appear to show no continuity of usage. The song Ebony and Ivory was written by Paul McCartney, British musician born 1942 and recorded in 1982 as a duet with Stevie Wonder, U.S. musician born 1950, American musician born 1950. Compounds and derived words. Red ebony from 1712, the hard, heavy wood of any of several tropical trees, especially the Caribbean tree. And here is a picture of Club Ebony. Take a look. Indianola, Mississippi. Indianola, Mississippi. Another pic of Club Ebony. Wish they removed the Coca-Cola signs and the Corona signs off that joint. But so be it. It is a tavern or club, right? Do the right thing.